Hello and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast. I am your host, Brad Critchfield, and this is the podcast that builds community one conversation at a time, brick by brick. Today's episode is a little bit different than our normal podcast. I've invited all the candidates for the Lakewood City Council District 2 race to come on the show and share a little bit about themselves. The purpose is so you can make the most informed decision possible when you step into the ballot box June 2nd. All the candidates have accepted the invite, and we'll be going one by one, talking to each candidate and just posing very basic, simple questions. The same questions were given to every candidate as they come in. And what this is not, it's not a hard-hitting interview. There's no gotcha moments. And it's also not an endorsement of any particular candidate. This is my way of supporting the democratic process and supporting my community in at least getting to know a bit about each candidate so we can make the best decision possible for our city that we all care about so much. So with that, and without further ado, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. My name is Manuel Jimenez, and I'm running for District 2 here in Lakewood. I'm a U.S. vet, U.S. Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. And I moved to Lakewood after my service in the Marine Corps. And it's a great community. It's one of the deciding factors just because it's a lot of veterans. And, there's a lot of veterans here in Lakewood. And the reason why I'm running is to make local impact, local change at local government.
So why are you running for Lakewood City Council?
$1 million question, right? I'm a firm believer in making local impact. I think local government is able to make a lot of impact locally. From grassroots, I've always had a passion for politics throughout the years since I think it all started in high school, being part of student body, class president every single year, and just my career throughout the years. Public service has always been very important for me, both in the military and then, post-military, working and seeing what politicians do day in and day out. I don't want to say it's a thankless job, but it's a very important job that I think goes a long way. And I think doing it locally is very important for me. One of the reasons why I've decided to run for Lakewood City Council.
If you've been in an auto accident, don't get mad, call the pad. Preferred Auto Design is Lakewood's #1 auto body and collision center for a reason. Owner David Ariano runs a first-class shop with honesty, quality, and care you can trust. So remember, you get in an accident, call the pad. So you're already out there canvassing, you're walking, you're talking to folks. What are you hearing from residents, and what's your focus in those conversations?
I've been hearing a lot about the flock system and ADUs. In regards to the flock system, I know it's, they've recently made a decision. And again, I'm all about public safety. So I want to learn a little bit more, hear what the residents have to say, and really hear them out. And in regards to ADUs, I'm all about keeping our Lakewood a family-oriented community, and I want to make sure that I also hear out the constituents and see what they want to hear, because at the end of the day, I'm here to represent them.
So what's one issue in Lakewood you feel like doesn't get enough attention?
I have to say public safety. Public safety is what I'm running on. It's my #1 priority, and I feel that I want to ensure that our residents are safe, and it works hand in hand with economic development. And quality of life. I like to say that everything works together. We need to have economic development, have more taxes to come in to be able to provide, and have more officers deputies on the street.
Where do you feel the city gets it right?
I have to say all the events that they put on. I think the city does an amazing job of really pushing out events during these uncertain times. I think the city does a great job of bringing community together. Everything from the 4th of July parade to the Easter egg hunt that just happened to the ongoing events that they continue to put out, to the farmers market. I was just actually at the farmers market, and I got to meet a lot of good local vendors and see what they do and how passionate they are about their farmers market.
So for somebody who's still deciding, what is it that you want them to understand about you as a candidate and as a campaign?
I'm very passionate about public safety. For me, just growing up in a law enforcement community, a law enforcement family, public safety is very important to me. Owning a private security company that works very closely with other municipalities and other clients in the area, public safety is my number one priority. Quality of life is super important to me. Living in Lakewood, just the whole family atmosphere is very important to me. And the economic development is very important to me, bringing more business into the city. And I think everything works hand in hand. You can't have an amazing public safety department without having great businesses that bring in taxes to the city. I don't want to raise our residents' taxes. That's a no-go for me. We have folks here that are retired, that live on a fixed income, and we can't raise their taxes, their property taxes. So why not rely on businesses and outside folks that come and visit our mall?
This episode of Brick by Brick is brought to you by Hearthy Foods. Go to hearthyfoods.com and use promo code BRICK at the checkout and save 50% off your order today. They're the best single ingredient supplements out there at the best price. So go to hearthyfoods.com, get a great product while supporting your community podcasts. All right, one word answers as fast as you can. All right. This is just a way for people to get to know you a little bit more. All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early morning or late night?
Late nights.
Favorite place to eat in Lakewood?
A double taco grill.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Text or phone call?
Text.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Instagram or TikTok?
Ooh, that's hard. Can I split them? TikTok.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
All right. In just a couple sentences, what does the word community mean to you?
Ooh. Community. I like to say community means home to me. People come together to support one another, and it's just home. I like to say that is what makes it very unique. Your home can be anywhere as long as you have community. And the community is only as strong as the people in it. So, being in the military, our community was our barracks, and we made the best of it. Here in Lakewood, community is my neighbors and the city overall that we represent.
All right, so this is the portion of the interview where you're going to talk directly to the camera and just tell them, why they should vote for you and then where they can go for more information.
Yeah. No, as a U.S. Marine, I stick to my core values, honor, courage, and commitment. And that is exactly what you'll get if I'm elected to the city council on June 2nd. I believe, again, I'm sticking to our quality of life, public safety, and economic development. That's what I'm running on. And that's what you'll get if I'm brought into the Lakewood City Council. In regards to finding some information, I invite you to our website, jimenezforlakewood.com, or our Instagram, Jimenez. The handle's Jimenez for Lakewood. We'll be posting a lot of information. We'll be walking. So you'll probably see me out in the neighborhoods, say hello. But yeah, like the Marine Corps said, Semper Fi, always faithful. And that's definitely what you'll get with me if elected June 2nd to Lakewood City Council.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate taking the time.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's it for this episode of Brick by Brick. Remember, keep building community one conversation at a time, and I'll see you in the next one.